Very good, very good.
You got your popcorn and your buns all ready?
Yeah, my feet are up.
Flip-flops. Make sure your dog's off the foot pedal there, PDL, VA3VT.
Oh, go look for an apartment. Yeah, I know, eh? I get a call from Pierre. Hello? And right away I heard feedback too. I was, what the heck? I even looked at the radio and I seen a good signal up there, like 20 over, and I thought that was just somebody strong talking or whatever. And look down, there's the dog.
Is this frequency in use?
Yes, by the AREG. We're waiting for check-in with Chuckles to start. So take her away.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Paul. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, VA3, CJZ, opening the weekly amateur radio exchange group Simplex Net, also known as AREG, for Wednesday, this last day of January, the 31st of 2024. This is week 1585 times that AREG has been on the air consecutively. My name is Chuck, and my station is located in East Hamilton. This net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. and ending at 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430 megahertz. And since this is a simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else, so we also stream the net on YouTube. So people who tune in can hear stations they cannot hear on their radio. They can hear how their audio sounds on the air and see their signal strength, as well as see my station layout. Just type in my call again into the YouTube search box, VA3CJZ, and look for us live. Or tonight we'll be under the title AREG Week 1585. And finally, we ask that you please leave a 1 to 2 second delay between transmissions to allow any other station to break in. And with that, may I now have check-ins for this evening's AREG.
Victor Echo 3, Bravo Mike Oscar.
VA3 AXJ.
VA3VT.
VA3 IMW. V3 KKP.
Okay.
VA3 NFG.
Okay, I think I copied 7 stations there. I put PDL in there since I could hear him yakking, but he wouldn't give his call. He's the first guy I heard earlier. But BMO is actually the first one. VE3 BMO, AXJ, BT, IMW, KKP, and NFG. Let's go to Pierre. VE3 BMO.
Yeah, just check in there, Chuck. I might even last for a second round, believe it or not, but we'll see how long the chitter chatter goes. But yeah, it might be around for the second time round, so you never know. Being for the pot and not much sad at the moment.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to say congratulations there on your activation using FT8. Why don't you tell us all about that? How well did it go? Was it quicker than doing phone? Probably not. But anyways, why don't you tell us there, Pierre?
Yeah, it's not quicker than phone, but it's a little more laid back. But I'm not going to get into that right at the moment there, Chuck, because I can talk about this for hours. I'm sure you'll have a lineup behind me, VE3 BMO.
All right. Very good. Very good. And PDL, are you there? Oh, he's gone. Let's go to Rick, VA3 AXJ, downtown Rick. Come on in.
Chuck, good evening, Chuck. Not much to say. Got an early start tomorrow. I got to get up at 6:30 in the friggin' morning. But I'm going to hang in as long as I possibly can. Back to you.
All right. What do you got to get up so early for?
I got to get the needles in the back. I got to get another test done. I'm getting tired of it. You know, just never stops. Never stops.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you guys. That's the one thing I don't like is having to go. Once every couple of weeks or whatever for that. That's just way too much. I've got my procedure coming up in exactly 1 month and 1 day. Uh, so I only get it every 6 months. But okay, there, Rick. Hang in there as long as you can. If you got to go, just break in and let us know you're leaving.
Roger on that. Yeah, I got to get up early because it takes me about a half an hour just to wake up. And I got to be downtown for like 8:30 in the morning. So time I get up, have my coffee, clean up, blah blah blah, and all other good stuff that goes with it. I'm good to go, but I need them today. I needed them yesterday. These needles, David. My back's just killing me.
Oh yeah, I hear you. I told you I go every 6 months, but it never lasts for that long. The procedure that I get, maybe 4 months is the most I can get out of it. Yeah, I feel for you, my friend. Okay, well, thanks for checking in, Rick. Always a pleasure. Sit back and kick back and relax for the rest of the net. So we'll clear with you and say hello to Albert, VA3 Bravo Tango. Come on in, Albert.
Hey, good evening, Chuck, and everybody on frequency here. Yeah, I figured, I better give old Chuck a check-in in there on the Chuck E. Cheese net. Not just kidding. But other than that, nothing to report on my end there, Chuck. Just a bean for the pot. Back over to you, VA3BT.
All right. Well, you're going to have to invite me over there one of these days. You've got quite the radio collection now, and I guess you've got an antenna farm out back there now, right?
Yeah, it's a little out of control here. I don't know, about 6 or 7 antennas.
Ooh, that's like me. I think that's how much I got. All right. Very good then. Yeah. We'll have to do a tour one day. Okay, Albert. And what's new and exciting with you? You've been pounding away at FT8 as well?
Oh, yeah, doing a lot of FT8. Work's slowing down. We're going to have a slow winter, but it looks like I'm actually surprised. Like the construction industry is really slowing down between with the condos and the residential and now the commercial end of it. So it's going to be a slow couple of months, but hopefully we'll pick up and get right back at it, right busy. But that's okay. I don't mind. At least relax. Be less hours. I don't have to keep banging in those hours. But that's okay. Back over to you, Chuck.
Yeah, very good. Then I noticed I've heard you on the radio there around bankers hours there, a little after 3 o'clock, and we hear Albert. So glad to hear you're working less hours, getting home and a little bit earlier.
Yeah, you should get up in the morning show. We got a morning show going on around 5 a.m. Get on there with us.
Yeah, 5. That's a little bit early. I've been up around 6 a couple of mornings there. Couldn't sleep, but yeah, we'll have to get up earlier and check it out. Okay, Albert, thanks for checking in, my friend. I do appreciate it. Anything else for us?
No, we'll let you get on with the net there, Chuck. I'm sure there's a whole lineup behind us here. Go ahead, VA3BT. Back over to net control.
Okay, Albert. Always a pleasure, sir. And let's turn it over to Mac. Stay up on the hill. VA3IMW. Mac, come on in.
Good evening, Chuck. Yeah, I just want to leave a couple extra seconds because
Paul's been a little bit slow on the key to key up with his witty comments. I think he's doubled with you a couple of times. Were you missing a station that should have checked in after BMO?
Not that I'm aware of. I thought I got everybody. Who'd I miss?
Oh, I'm not sure if you did or not, because after you cleared with him, Paul came in and you guys doubled, and that never goes well. Anyways, yeah, it's good to hear Paul on the air. It's good to hear Paul on the air when Paul actually activates the foot pedal himself. And I'm sure that once we get around to him, he'll tell the story. Another dog on the foot pedal thing with another operator phoning him to say, hey, get your dog off the foot pedal. Anyways, that's kind of where you came in and heard the conversation amongst the locals there. Other than that, what is it, Wednesday, and you did get a good honorable mention with stand-in net controller on the RSB repeater for the Burlington Amateur Radio Club net. And Chris was good enough to check in from Barbados. Imagine that, rubbing the replacement net controller's nose in the fact that I'm gone to Barbados, you're running the net. Anyways, beautiful, beautiful weather this week. So far, the road conditions have been terrific, and it would be nice to finish out the winter just like this. But you know what? This is Canada, so stand by, and we'll get ours, I'm for sure. Anyways, Chuck, I'm going to be here for the duration. Just a quick note, I'm not sure if Art's going to come in and say hi to us tonight. I bumped into him in the pharmacy, and we had a quick eyeball QSO, and he mentioned that he was pretty tired at that point in time, so I will keep an ear out for him and see if he comes in to say hello. He's still looking for somebody to volunteer to go up to his place and help him set up his new radios. So I think that's a job for somebody young. Do we have any young operators? Anyways, anybody under the age of, 38 years old? We should conscript them and make them go up and visit with Art for a couple hours and help him dig that 7100 and the 7300 out of the box so he can pack up his Yaesu radio, poor guy. Anyways, Chuck, I'll turn it back to you, and let's carry on for the time being.
Okay, Mac, very good. Thank you for all that. First of all, speaking of Paul, I heard him come on the radio today telling us that Sam was heading across the pond to Europe. And I don't think I heard Sam get on the radio and say goodbye, but I wish him well. And yeah, sorry I couldn't make it up to Paul's. So I hope he has safe travels and gets everything done that he wants done. Other than that, yeah, thank you for letting me know about the honorable mentions and all that fun stuff. Okay, Mac, we'll touch base again second round. And do you have anything else for us?
Nope, that's it for now. I'll just keep an eye out on the spotting page for another Wyoming opportunity for you. Carry on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, speaking of the Art, VE3KCI, I had an S5 just before the net started of noise. S5, it looks like it's at an S3 now, so I may or may not need you if he comes on. So thank you for offering to relay for us. So we'll clear with VA3IMW and say hello to Kevin. Still, we'll staying up on the hill, VE3KKP. Kevin.
Hey, good evening, Chuck, and everybody on that. Just a quick bean for the pot. Nothing much to report. I see, speaking of Chris, he's checked in via YouTube there. So give a shout out to Chris for checking in. And yeah, that's about it. What's going on down there?
Oh, very good. Then thanks for that, Kevin. Yeah, I'm just looking at the page now. Hello, Chris and Wayne B and Wade, VA3NCA. He's also out of town, I do believe. And may make it home in time to turn it into an RF check-in. Okay, I thought he was out of town. And Wayne in Oakville, I think, Mississauga. And we have VE3RWJ checking in from Barbados. Good evening, Chris. And I'm so jealous. I hope you have good weather. I know some people vacationing hit bad weather, but I wish you all the best. And thanks for your check in. Thank you, Kevin. I heard you mobile today. So I guess you're feeling a bit better now, right?
Yeah, you still got to go see the doctor once in a while. Yeah, no, I'm feeling a lot better.
Yeah, very good, very good. Because I thought I heard you say you were out and about somewhere there. I didn't catch where. I was busy doing other stuff there. Yeah, but bought a couple of HTs, and I've been going back. You know, they're not the same brand, so it's tough getting familiar with one and then going over to another one. And then when you go back to that other one, you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I can't afford a $1,000 radio, but I can afford the handheld. So that's keeping me happy.
There you go. Yeah, lots of fun, lots to learn. Alrighty, I'll turn it back to you there, Chuck B3KKP.
All right, very good, Kevin. We'll clear with you. And next on the list was Steve. I do believe he was portable somehow, somewhere. Let's see if he's still there. VA3 November Foxtrot Golf.
Yeah, very good there, Chuck. I'm upstairs on the portable here, but just listening along there, Chuck. Being for the pot, as we say. I'll get to work tomorrow, so here tonight. Just doing a few things here. That's about it. Back to you, Chuck. Thanks for doing it.
All right, Steve, I caught most of that. There was a little bit of interference there, and your signal's bouncing around. I think you're moving there a bit. So, but I caught about 95% of that. So, very good. Well, thanks for checking in, my friend. And are you going to be sticking around, or you're taking off?
It's on 8:15. Yeah, I'll probably be around. Maybe till about 9:30 or so. And then I'll be pulling the plug.
All right, very good then. Well, thanks for your check-in, Steve. You're in the log. And so let's make sure and put Chris in there, and then we'll do a call out. So let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3 CJZ looking for check-ins.
You forgot, Paul.
Golf Kilo.
Okay, that station ending with Kilo, can you try again, please?
Yeah, Roger. Victor Echo 3, Juliet Golf Kilo.
Papa Delta Lima.
Okay, Paul, I'm sorry I forgot you. I did call you earlier, but you didn't respond. But let's do it again. VE3 PDL. Come on in, Paul.
Thanks, Chuck. Quite a bunch of good guys in there ahead of me. Cool. Well, except for that guy looking for the apartment, poor fella. It's taken him a long time to find one. Anyways, he even had to change his call because he's embarrassed. Anyways, yeah, Sammy left here at about 20 to 6 or something like that, 5:30. And he called. He's at the airport, just about to go through the security stuff. His flight leaves at 9:35, and he's going to the UK. Whether he stays there or not's another story, I guess. But whatever. I think he's got to go to the UK and get his operation done on his. He's got a couple hernias and couldn't get it done here because he wasn't a Canadian citizen.
Right.
So yeah, he's got dual citizenship for Australia and the UK. So that's where he's headed to, and it's going to be a 7-hour flight for him. I would hate that.
Yeah, not to mention they're already 6 hours, I think, ahead of us. So if he's got a 6 or 7 hour flight, it's going to make for some jet lag. Well, yeah, I think Mac can attest to the jet lag there. But yeah, if that's where he's got to go, then and then he's got to go off somewhere else from there. I think he mentioned that's where he's got to straighten out his passport documents. I guess they were issued there.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there you go. So he can get that all updated and then hop to another country. Boy, that guy gets around. I'm gonna miss him. Geez, I remember hearing him on 11 meters there once in a while, and then on HF. So yeah, good fella. Good. I hope things work out well for him.
Yeah, for sure. He's going to keep in touch with us here. Yeah, good fella for sure. Funny guy. And he put up with my nonsense. That's hard.
Well, he's got a pretty good sense of humor, I think, anyway, so that helps.
Yeah. Definitely helps. All right, Chuck, I won't delay it, sir. I'll let you pick up some more check-ins, and I'll be listening along. V3PDL.
Okay, thank you for that, Paul. Thanks for your check-in. Do appreciate it. Say hello to the missus for me, as always. And let's go and say hello to Gary now. VE3 Juliet Golf Kilo. Gary, come on in.
Yeah, good evening all, and yeah, we're back from a short trip to the sunny south, and turned on the radios and checked the schedule, see what net's on when, and here we are. But otherwise, not a lot of news. Back to net control.
Ah, very good. Went south, eh? So I noticed on the news they were experiencing some unusually cold weather, some tornadoes or hurricanes coming through in Florida. Anyways, how did you fare weather-wise?
Oh, we were in the Dominican, so we were southeast of Florida, where we did get the occasional short shower, as is typical in that climate, but no heavy weather at all, and temperatures hovering around 29 each day. Not much variation from day to day, that's for sure. So very comfortable. Evenings around 23, 24. Perfect for walking around.
Oh yeah.
Definitely recommend the place for this time of year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I remember when I worked in West Palm Beach, Florida there, and it was similar weather throughout the winter. You could set your clock almost, your watch, by the rain showers you would get, and then the sun would pop right back out.
Oh, very true. And in a tropical or subtropical climate, the daytime heating gets the clouds going, and around 4 o'clock you get a bit of a shower, and by 4:30 you're back to sunshine. So it's, like you say, very predictable at certain times of the year. And it was a nice getaway. We missed missing the really severe cold that we had here. Well, if you can call minus 15 severe, shows you how soft we've become compared to in our youth, when minus 40 was kind of a normal every winter, at least for a few days. But haven't even seen minus 20 in years, so things have definitely warmed up.
All right. Very good then. I sure miss the South during the winter months, that's for sure. I'm one of those, if I could be, I'd be a snowbird. I'd be gone at this time of year. But anyways, it looks like your radio equipment is working fine now that you've returned. I've got you coming in here at the Center Mall in Hamilton at 30 over at least. So good job there, Gary. Thanks for your check-in, my friend, and welcome back. And it looks like we're not really getting a winter here this year, so good for us, I guess. Thanks for your check-in, Gary. Anything else for us?
No, that should do it. You're full scale here as well on my trusty tri-band indoor antenna, so we're not exactly doing our best to get a signal out. And I'm only running about 10 watts, so we're not really pumping this thing at full power either. But doesn't seem like there's any need to. And so I'll say 7-3. Thanks for taking my check-in, V3JGK.
Okay, Gary, thank you. And you have a great rest of the evening, sir. And just to repeat myself, we are streaming the net on YouTube in case you cannot hear all of the stations that are coming in. Just go to YouTube and put in VA3CJZ. And tonight we're under the live title AREG week 1585. And you can listen along with us. You can move the slider at the bottom back to a certain time. There is a clock also showing, and we just finished up with Gary. It's 8:25 p.m., and so you can move the slider back and forth at the bottom wherever you like. Okay, so with that, let's see if anybody else is out there would like to join us here on the weekly amateur radio exchange group Simplex Net. This is VA3CJZ.
VA3 Whiskey Papa Golf.
Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Whiskey.
VA3 CKZ.
Okay, I think I've got 3 stations there: WPG, Charlie Juliet Whiskey, and Charlie Kilo Zulu. Let's say hello to Chris, VA3 WPG. Oh, look at that. All 3 of them are named Chris. WPG, come on in.
Good evening, everybody. VA3 WPG here. Not sure how I'm sounding here. I'm running a HTX 202 tonight on high power, which says it's putting out 3 watts, but I believe it's supposed to be 5 on high power. And I believe I got, 0.30 watts on low power, so I believe it's getting old and has some issues. Oh, now we're back up to 6 watts. But regardless, I'm on a HTX 202 tonight.
Oh, okay, very good. It sounds like you may want to speak closer to the microphone because your audio is on the weak side. Bring it back.
Alrighty, I'm closer up to the mic now. Says I'm
Yeah.
doing 6 watts now, down to 5, 6. I don't know. Old radio. I'm going to be hooking up the ASU right after I'm done this check-in here. What I remember about this radio, it's no matter where I go in my apartment, I can turn off my computer monitors. I got an S9 static. People are under the static on this radio, so she's getting old.
Oh, yeah, that and those cheap wall warts, they don't help as well. Used to be lights were an issue, but they seem to have figured that out now. It's not so bad, unless they're the Christmas lights and stuff like that. But anyways, the HT that you're using now sounds good, Chris. As I mentioned, just speaking a little bit closer brings your audio up just perfect. Anything else? Anything new and exciting with you, Chris?
This one's even fully squelched. It's making racket. I can't even S9 full S9 still coming through even fully squelched the static. So other than that, not much new. Couple FT8s today. Haven't been on the HF much. Just doing stuff around the place lately. So
yeah,
none too exciting right now. So other than that, for the time being, I will send it back to the net, and I'm going to get the ASU hooked back up so I can squelch out the static.
Okay, very good then, Chris. Well, sorry to hear about your static issues, but apparently your other radio doesn't seem to be affected. But this old girl is still working, and so thanks for your check-in, Chris. And we'll get back to you around. Come back in again when you get the other one hooked up. So we'll clear with Chris, or should I say VA3WPG, because the next gentleman is called Chris, VA3 Charlie Juliet Whiskey. Come on in.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet
Oh,
Chris number 2 in the net. How you doing tonight, Chuck?
hey, good evening, Chris, and welcome to the net. We're doing great. It's always exciting on Wednesdays because I get all my stuff ready to do the net there, all my documentation and so on. And yeah, and like I mentioned previously, I also haven't been really doing too much on HF as I've been playing around with these new handhelds radios, learning how to use them, see their functions, and so on. And so, uh, when you can't afford the big boys, little toys will do for now.
Yeah, absolutely, Chuck. I can relate. When I just recently got back into the hobby after many years away raising my family, and yeah, I'm starting out with the 18. For now, and, a couple of flea markets coming up down the road. Maybe there'll be a bunch for something else. But yeah, doing well. Glad to hear.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, thanks for checking in, Chris. You've got a good signal tonight. S9 down here at the Center Mall in Hamilton. And so you're North Burlington, right?
Yeah, QSL, north end of Burlington.
Yeah, very good. 10 over S9. So you peaked up that time. Very good. All right. Well, thanks for your check in, my friend. And we'll get back to you next round. Anything else?
No, that's it for me, Chuck. I may lose power as we go through, but if not, I'm here for the duration. Looking forward.
Okay, very good. You just cut out there, Chris. Before I take the other check in, was there someone else trying to check in there? Please come now. VA3 CJZ. Okay, nothing heard. So let's go to Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Kilo Zulu. Another gentleman close to my call sign, CKZ. Come on in, Chris.
Good evening, Chuck. Thanks, and hello to everyone out there on the net tonight. Appreciate you taking your time for this one. I'm just looking at getting into some kit building, and I'm just wondering if there's any preferences that you have come across in your time on here. Over.
Any kits? I have not had the opportunity to put together any kits. It's been quite some time. I have trouble now with my eyes and hand-eye coordination kind of thing, so I kind of stay away from that. But maybe some other people on here have had fun with some kits that they've had, and maybe we can do a general call out if anyone has. I know Wade, VA3 November Charlie Alpha. He's always putting stuff together. But how about you? Have you been putting something together?
No, I haven't started yet. I'm just looking at stuff on the internet right now, and just kind of seeing what's out there to start off with. I'm okay with the hand-eye coordination, and I've got all the tools to do it with. So I figured, well, it's a good time to try it out and see what comes of it. Over.
Yes, absolutely. You know what I would recommend doing is going on YouTube or Google and seeing these kits. Actually would be better on YouTube, and just query uh, ham radio kits or electronic kits, and things will come up, and something might pique your attention.
Okay, thank you much. Appreciate it. I'll pass it on back to you to carry on with the net, and appreciate it. 7-3s, everyone. Thanks.
Okay, Chris, I do believe I heard someone keying up there. I believe it was a comment there. Please come now.
Yeah, I might lose power here, Chuck, but I'd suggest you check with some of the local radio clubs. I know in Burlington we've got a guy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I figured I'd. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're cutting out there, Chris. So from what I gathered, Chris in North Burlington was saying to Chris here in Hamilton that you may want to check with the local clubs and see if they've got anything they could suggest.
Okay, yeah. I'm a member of the Hamilton Club here, so maybe I'll just post a piece on the forum and see what comes up. Thanks a lot, Chuck. Have a good night. Thanks.
All right, there you go. That's the best I can do, my friend. So good luck with that, and let us know next week if you've decided on anything or even started something. So thanks again for checking in, Chris. Always a pleasure, sir. And we'll talk to you again soon. And with that, let's see if anyone else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly amateur radio exchange group, Simplex Net. Please come now. Okay, well, that brings me to the end of my list. So far, we've got 14 check-ins. And let's go ahead and check the contests, upcoming contests. So we'll start off with this weekend. We have the Vermont QSO party, and that'll be for 2 whole days. And that's for UHF, VHF, 10 meter, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. And it says all modes except for FT8, I believe. It says to see the rules for FT8 guidance. That's the Vermont QSO party, 2 full days. And next we've got the 1010 International Winter Contest for sideband. And that's for phone at 10 meters only. And that starts 001 Zulu on February 3rd to 2359 Zulu February 4th. Next, we've got the Mexico RTTY International Contest, and that's for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, and 80 for RTTY. Next, we've got the European Union DX Contest, and that's for sideband and CW for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. And then we have the Minnesota QSO party, and that's a very short one. That's only for 10 hours. 1400 Zulu February 3rd to 2400 Zulu February 3rd. 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160.
VA3, any quick in and out, Chuck. Don't have to stop. Continue.
Okay, Kevin, you're in the log. VA3, November Echo. No problem. We're almost done. I'll get to you right quick. We'll just finish up with the British Columbia QSO party this weekend, and that's in 2 stages. It's for 10 meters all the way to 160 for sideband and CW, and it starts at 1600 Zulu February 3rd to 0359 Zulu, February 4th. And then it picks up back again on the next day on the 4th at 1600 Zulu, ending at 2359 Zulu on February 4th. So again, British Columbia QSO party. Uh, yeah, it's always fun to have a Canadian QSO party contest to go on. So 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. Single sideband and CW. And so with that, that's pretty much it for contests this weekend. If you have any questions, just go to Google and type in contestcalendar.com, and you'll be able to look up an 8-day rolling contest list there and see all the rules that you may want to check out and the times and whatnot. So with that, let's see if Kevin is available, or he just wanted to throw his call in there and take off. VA3NE.
Yeah, no problem there, Chuck. No, I've been here for the whole net. Albert come and let us know 1 minute. I think it was Albert or was it Kevin? One of the two mentioned it on Zoe. So a whole bunch of us scooted over here. But I just waited to check in there. Not really much other than my new glasses broke today right in the middle. Fell off my face and hit the floor and broke right where the nose piece is, which is weird. They're those frames that you can bend back and forth, the arms, and bend them in half and twist them. And they didn't break when I did that or when the guy showed me the frames like that, but they fell off my face probably 4 or 5 feet and hit the ground and broke. Oh, well, I'll be going to get them fixed tomorrow. Good thing I saved the old glasses. Anyhow, that's about it for me. I'll be listening to the net there. Chuck, back to you, VA3NE.
Why don't you do like the Hanson brothers there? Just get some hockey tape and tape it in the middle, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, I was thinking of that, but no, I'll just use my old ones here. I don't want to gum them up or that, eh? I don't know if they're going to resolder them or what they're going to do, but the nose piece, that little bar that goes between the two lenses, it busted right in the middle, which is weird just from falling and hitting the ground.
Yeah. Well, they're made with these composite materials, eh? And yeah, I learned to be careful with mine. I don't even fold mine. Like, I don't close them if I take them off my face. I leave them open just to save wear and tear on the hinge. And so if I have to fold them, of course I will. But just to take them off, I don't fold them. Give them a little bit more life. I've also got new ones from last spring, but to me that's new.
Yeah. Well, I got those transitions, these ones, eh? They turn into sunglasses. They kind of mess me up, though, when you come into the house, especially if it's dark in your house. You got the AC going in the summer. Come in here in the sun, it's like I got dark sunglasses on. But ever since I got them, my eyes have been burning and itchy and feel like they're like weeping all the time. Always like I got Sandman in my eyes.
Huh.
So the next time I go and get a new pair, I'm not going to get those transitions.
I often wondered about those. I know they're an extra cost, and they're glasses aren't cheap to begin with. Even if you do have insurance, they don't cover. They might cover half of your cost. But anyways, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Kevin. Hope you get that situation straightened out soon. What's new and exciting radio-wise with you?
Not really a whole lot. Still waiting for my key and cable from China. You know that anything you order there, especially something cheap like that, $20 or under whatever, usually takes 4 to 5 weeks. But I'm not in no hurry. I got my 100-watt 7000 here. But yeah, I've got the amplifier sitting here for 3 weeks now. And couldn't use the amplifier part, but I do use the tuner. Like if I want to go to 160 with the 705, I use the built-in tuner on the amplifier. That's one good thing. Yeah, better have something extra on it. Yeah, it shows your amps, your power. It shows you two two SWRs, your SWR between your radio and the amp, and between your antenna and the amp, which I thought was pretty cool. Never ever seen that before. But what else was I going to say there? One thing I think about my glasses there. Yeah, the transitions didn't cost me anything, and I go, oh, that's weird. When I got a pair of not transition, the bifocals, hidden bifocals, I said, you guys charged me $70 the last time for the hidden ones. Otherwise, I got to add the linies there. We've never done that, but I remember giving them the extra $70.
Yeah, like I said, it's an extra cost there, but that's the thing too, when you walk into your house after being outdoors, it's gradual. It doesn't switch back over to clear for some time, so that's something you got to be aware of. All right, Kevin. Well, thanks for checking in and filling us in on that. How's the POTA hunting going?
Yeah, not too shabby. I don't really do it every day anymore. I get the odd one on FT8. Chase the odd ones on phone. Yeah. It's funny there. I heard Larry telling Kevin about that the Kilo 4 Charlie Tango Victor Zulu or whatever.
Tango Victor Zulu.
Yeah, there's been YouTube things about him for about the last 10 years. If you go look, he is a very rude operator. Anyhow, that's all. Don't want to get into that. And good net there. I'll be sticking around for the remainder there, Chuck.
All right, Kevin. Yeah, I had quite the laugh there when I went on Discord and saw the link to the video with Kilo Charlie 4 Tango Victor Zulu. And yeah, that would, I could tell a couple of guys were pretty burned up there. That one guy was quite miffed, to say the least. He never have anybody talk to you that way, just out of the blue for no reason, right? So, yeah, it was funny. So now everyone is aware of this guy locally here. If not, you've just been warned. If you hear Kilo Charlie 4 Tango Victor Zulu, you're taking your chances. All right, Kevin, thanks for that. And I see Wade has posted on the YouTube stream. For those who just got here, we do stream the net on YouTube. Just put in my call in the search box and look for us live. But Wade says he's built, this is for Chris. He built a QDX QRP digital transceiver dummy load kit, a GPS clock receiver, and have good WSPR transceiver partly build. High quality kits, but shipping can be slow since he is based in Turkey. Okay. Oh yeah, it's a WSPR transceiver, Chris, if you want to look it up. Now I got it. Couldn't make out that text he was saying, but now I got it. All right. There we go. Chris got the message. Very good. Okay. So with that, let's see if anybody else is out there waiting in the wings. Would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. Please come now.
Victor Echo 3 Tango Whiskey Mike.
Oh, there's a call I haven't heard for a while. Victor Echo 3 Tango Whiskey Mike. Where have you been? Down south?
Hey, that's not the lifestyle I live, Chuck. Nice to speak with you. VA3CJZ, VE3TWM. It's Tracy here in Burlington. Hope you're well. Hope everybody on the net is well. No, I work like a dog through the day, and if I'm lucky, I get to play a little bit of radio during my downtime.
There you go. Like most people. So very good. Well, nice to hear you. Like I said, it's been a while, and so you're able to tear yourself away and fire up the radio. That's great. We've the wife and I there. We were getting. It seemed like a couple of days ago, my wife was getting her second cold of the season, and I started showing symptoms, but I feel pretty good now. Um, with my wife, it's just the lungs, the coughing, and so it's kind of strange having, uh, twice in one season. So that was a little strange, but other than that, we're doing well. Thank you. And how about you?
Yeah, no problem. Isn't it nice now when people start to get a cough or start to get a cold and they're not immediately panicking that they're getting COVID?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And but of course, when you go to a medical facility, they'll ask you, have you had a cough in the last couple of days? Yada yada. But that's just protocol for them. But yes, it's definitely more normal than what we've experienced.
Good stuff. Hey, Chuck, I won't keep it. It's always nice to listen. And even there's a lot of nights when I get to hear at least part, but I don't check in simply because I've got a little HT up where I start to get ready for bed. And I always listen to it a little bit, and I love to hear you going at it with the guys and the ladies out there that check in. It's always a lot of fun to listen to. Love the little community. I'm probably not going to be around for the next round. But I certainly wanted to stop in and say hi. So 7-3 to yourself and a good evening to all. VA3, CJZ, thanks for what you do. This is Victor Echo 3, Tango Whiskey Mike, clear.
Okay, Tracy. Well, you've got a great signal, by the way, coming into my location here at the Center Mall in Hamilton, and you're full strength. It looks like here, and great audio. So I do appreciate your check-in, taking the time to listen to us every once in a while, and I wish you all the best. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you again soon. And so we'll clear with Tracy and see who else is out there that might be listening that would want to check in to our weekly amateur radio exchange group net. This is VA3 CJZ. My name is Chuck, and I'm located here in the east end of Hamilton. Anyone, anywhere, please come now. Does anyone have any announcements they'd like to make? Or if they have any questions or comments, please come forward before we go ahead and start the fun stuff with on this day and some trivia. All right, very good then. Nothing heard. So we'll go ahead and start off with some amateur radio and DX trivia questions and answers and fun facts. So we'll start off with this one. It's pretty self-explanatory, but we'll see how many people get it. What do the amateur radio stations November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra and Romeo Sierra 0 ISS have in common? Answer: they are both located on the International Space Station. Those are the two call signs. They have a Russian one and the North American one, NA1SS and RS0 ISS. So there you go. Here's a little bit of trivia. This famous ham invented a legendary music device that was featured on the album Switched on Bach. Who is it? Answer: Robert Moog, or Bob Moog, also known as Kilo 2 Alpha Mike Hotel. He invented the famous Moog synthesizer, along with some other innovative electronic music equipment. He died in 2005. Okay. Here's an easy one. At the end of a conversation, ham operators will say 7-3 to the person they are talking with. What does 7-3 mean? It means best regards. Although hams use many different modes of communication, such as voice, digital, and even television, the original mode was Morse code. In order to save time, many abbreviations were created by Morse users, and 7.3 is used to sign off with a friendly goodbye. Okay. Which of the following musicians is not or was not an amateur ham operator? And we have, well, the answer is Alice Cooper, but the list has Alice Cooper, Joe Walsh, Jim Croce, and Ronnie Millsap. 3 out of those 4 have amateur radio license. Next, besides talking on his ham radio, this famous newscaster spent most of his life talking into a microphone for a living. Who is it? Drum roll, please. And the answer is Walter Cronkite. And that's the way it is. He's also known as Kilo Bravo 2 Golf Sierra Delta. Kilo Bravo 2 Golf Sierra Delta. Walter Cronkite obtained his amateur radio license after he retired from CBS News, primarily to have another form of communication while on his sailboat. Dan Rather, of course, replaced Walter Cronkite on the CBS News after he retired. Okay, in the United States, what speed of Morse code must a prospective ham be able to accurately read in order to get their amateur radio license? And the answer is 0. The ability to copy Morse code is not required to get your license. In the States as well now, I guess. Here in Canada, that's also the case. In 2007, the Federal Communication Commission, FCC, dropped the Morse code requirements for hams. In order to receive an amateur radio license, you only have to pass a written examination. Okay, what is Yuri Gagarin amateur call sign Uniform Alpha 1 Lima Oscar famous for? Answer: he was the first cosmonaut and the first human in space. Many Soviet, Russian cosmonauts and American astronauts have been amateur radio operators. Yuri Gagarin, a Russian cosmonaut and hero of the Soviet Union, was the first human in space, his flight taking place on April 21st, 1961. Okay, so these ones, okay. When radio amateurs discuss a Yagi, what are they talking about? Well, the answer is they're talking about an antenna. A Yagi is the shortened name for Yagi Uda antenna. I didn't know that. That's Yagi UDA antenna. In 1926, Shintaro Uda of Tohoku University, Japan, with the collaboration of Hidetsugu Yagi, developed the antenna. Mr. Yagi, I'm not making this up, not Miyagi, but Mr. Yagi published the first English language article about it in 1928. So his name got associated with it, though he always is quick to credit Mr. Uda. All right, another radio amateur operator, Whiskey 2 Mike Fox Whiskey, is known as Jerry Schatz. But he played the spoiled rich kid on this popular series. What was the name of the series? Answer: Our Gang. Jerry appeared in 18 Our Gang episodes and 6 movies. In 1942, he quit acting and joined the U.S. Navy and was wounded when a kamikaze attacked his ship. After World War II, he studied engineering and retired as an engineer for RCA, Global Communications. All right, here's another good one. What is Dr. Owen K. Garriott, amateur call sign W5, Lima Fox Lima, famous for? Answer: he was the first amateur operator to operate from space. Dr. Owen Garriott has flown on Skylab 3, spending 60 days, a record at the time, doubling the previous record in space in 1973. His next space mission was aboard Space Lab 1 for 10 days in 1983. Garriott, an amateur radio operator for 40 years, was the first astronaut to take a ham radio into space. All right, so we'll leave that there, and then we'll start on this day. Do we have any questions, comments, or announcements or check-ins for this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? Please come now.
VE3LBI.
There we go. I had my logbook open just for you, Larry. VE3LBI. Come on in.
I'm a minute late. What could I say, Chuck? I was waiting for you to finish up there. Nothing exciting. Just got here and listen along to the conversation, or what you're on this day next. I guess it is you've got. So, and I'll just pass it back to you. Like I say, nothing really to report today.
Oh, okay. Very good then. Well, that's always good. No news is good news, as they say. Yeah, we were just doing some ham radio trivia, and before we start on this day, so I thought I'd change it up a little bit there. All right, very good then, Larry. Thanks for checking in. And anyone else out there would like to check in, please come now. This is VA3CJZ. Okay, so we'll start on this day, week 153, and we go with famous birthdays on January 31st. Boy, they're really trying to mess with my speech here tonight. We got another Japanese person. We have Tokugawa Ieyasu, was born in 1543. He was a Japanese shogun who founded the first Tokugawa shogunate and united Japan, born in Okazaki, Japan. Next, we have Henri Desgrange, born on this day in 1865. He's a French cyclist, journalist, and founder of the Tour de France, born in Paris. (1881), January 31st, Irving Langmuir was born. He's an American chemist and engineer. He got the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1932. He invented the gas-filled incandescent lamp. Born in Brooklyn, New York, died in 1957. Jackie Robinson was born on this day in 1919. By the way, he passed away in 1972. He's an American Baseball Hall of Fame second baseman, the first African-American Major League Baseball player, and he was with the Brooklyn Dodgers, 6 All-Star World Series in 1955, MVP. He was born in Cairo, Georgia. Next, born on this day, is Carol Channing, born in 1921. American actress in the movies Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Hello, Dolly. She was a singer and comedian, born in Seattle, Washington. Passed away in 2019. Next, we've got Suzanne Plachette, born on this day in 1937. Remember her from the Bob Newhart show? She was playing the role of Emily, born in New York City and died in 2008. Next, we go to the year 1938. Beatrix Wilhelmina Armgard, former Queen of the Netherlands, from 1980 to 2013. She was born in some palace I can't name in Utrecht, Netherlands. That's the best I can do. All right, next we've got Nolan Ryan celebrating 76 years. He was born on this day in 1947. He's an American Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher. He's a Major League Baseball no-hitter leader with 7. Strikeout leader with 5,714. Wow. Lots of stats here. He was born in Texas. Okay, next we go to the year 1973. Portia de Rossi, Australian actress, born in Australia, and she's also the wife of Ellen DeGeneres. Last famous person with a birthday on this day is Justin Timberlake, celebrating 42 years today. He was born in 1981, and he's, of course, is a singer, songwriter. He's been in a couple of movies. Born in Memphis, Tennessee. So that wraps up birthdays of famous people on this day. Any questions, comments, or check-ins for this week's net? Please come now.
Alpha Delta 2, Golf X-ray, stroke, Victor Echo 3.
Okay, I'm going to have to do that again. Alpha Delta 2.
Roger there, Chuck. You probably recognize the voice. I'll make this actually legal because I do have some ham radio announcement or activity that I did, but in order to do it, I had to give up my reciprocal rights under the U.S.-Canada reciprocal agreement there, but that was so that I could pick up an American call sign. So can't use it in Canada, but I can use it in the States when I travel for POTA, and I don't have to use the stroke whiskey number any longer. So came official this morning, or came official today, and so I have now got amateur X-ray call Alpha Delta 2 Golf X-ray there down in the States. So a bit of a whim, really very little practical value, but I thought it would be a fun thing to attempt. So I took care of it, and it became official today.
Oh, would you look at that? I put it in the log, and as soon as I hit the tab button, your name came up and everything. So congratulations. So you're still in the city, right?
Yeah, QSL. Tonight I didn't go very far. So today's been a busy day. I had a work day, and then I also had the long service or 25-year service reception for working at Mac for that long, putting up with it for 25 years. So that's where I was earlier, but that wrapped up, and I got home, and I thought I'd check in here with an RF check-in and throw out that other call for the first time on the air. It's not legal because, as I said, we don't get reciprocal rights if you have the call sign in the actual country. So you have to give up the reciprocal rights. So it's not technically a legal call to use here, but it is assigned to me. And so when I go down there, I will have to use it when I am on POTA.
All right. Well, that's fabulous. So I put it down in the log anyways, just for my my records. That way I can go back and look it up if I forget. I don't know why I'd need to, but just for the heck of it, I got it in the log anyways, Wade. Oh, very good. And congratulations on the quarter century award.
Yeah, that was a nice little reception. A few people that over the years I've worked with, and they've moved on to other areas of the university, and I don't get to see them too often. So it was nice to see them. It was run just off campus. The university owns a couple of houses in the Westdale area, and so they've turned them into sort of conference areas. So one of them was where they had it, and it was nice. Yeah, it's only an hour and a half long, and but a nice way to end the day, and then an even nicer way to come home and end the day, cap off the end of the day with the AREG net.
All right, fantastic. And I saw that you put in YouTube there the info, and Chris responded with that. So yeah, YouTube does come in handy using the chat option there on the right. And yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Web links do not show up on YouTube, so you got to keep that in mind when typing something, or you have to be creative in the way that you display the web link you want to put up. So, anyways, well, thanks for checking in, Wade. Always a pleasure. And anything else?
Well, I'll let you pick up whoever else is behind me there if we get any more people in. But I realized afterwards that between the typos and the fact that it just swallowed up the first part of my statement, it was not very intelligible what I wrote. I was texting it while I was walking home. I took the opportunity to have a bit of a walk home tonight, and I typoed it, and the first line said the web link to Hans's website. And without that context, the rest of it was probably hard to interpret. But it looks like Chris got it in the end, even though my communication skills weren't the greatest. But anyways, with that there, Chuck, I will send it back to you, and I'll definitely be listening along for the rest of it. VNCA, back to you.
All right, Wade. Very good then. Thanks for checking in and filling us in on all that. And so with that, let's see if anyone else is out there waiting in the wings and would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. So let's go back to on this day, week 153. And we just finished with birthdays of famous people on this day. Let's go to famous deaths on January 31st. Go all the way back to the year 1561. And a gentleman by the name, I think it's gentleman, Menno, Menno, Simmons. He's a Dutch priest and vicar whose followers are named the Mennonites. Dies at around the age of 65. So the Mennonites go all the way back to 1561. Next, we've got Timothy Eaton. He passed away in 1907. Timothy Eaton is an Irish-born Canadian department store founder of the store Eaton's. He was 72 when he died. Next, we've got Edwin H. Armstrong, passing away in 1954 on this day. He's a United States radio inventor, FM radio. Sadly, he committed suicide at the age of 63. He was an American electrical engineer and inventor who developed FM radio and the super heterodyne receiver system. There you go. And passing away on this day in 1955, John Mott, M-O-T-T, American theologist and founder of the YMCA. He won the Nobel Prize in 1946, dies at the age of 89. Next, we have A. Milne, M-I-L-N-E, A. Milne, passing away on this day in 1956. He's an English author of the Winnie the Pooh books. Dies at the age of 74. Next, we've got 1974. Samuel Goldwyn, He's a Polish-born Jewish-American film producer. You might have seen the Metro Goldwyn symbol with the lion roaring. So he was a film producer and movie magnate. Dies of natural causes at the age of 91. He was born in 1882, and how old was he? 91. So, yeah. Most well known for being the founding contributor and executive of several motion picture studios in Hollywood, and is considered the first great Hollywood mogul. And the last person on my list here is Barbara Cowsill, passing away in 1985 on this day. She's an American singer and rock band mother. Oh, rock band mother. Oh, okay. With the band The Cowsills. Remember the song Hair and the song We Can Fly. Dies of emphysema at the age of 56. And so that's it for famous people passing away on January 31st. Do we have any questions, comments, announcements, or check-ins? Please come now. This is VA3CJZ. All right, so that means we'll go to historical events on January 31st. And in 1747, the first venereal disease clinic opens in London Lock Hospital. 1747, the VD clinic. Okay, next, let's go to the year 1862 on this day. Astronomer Alvin Graham Clark makes first observation of the star Sirius B, which is the first known white dwarf star. He was in Cambridgeport, Massachusetts, while testing his new telescope. There is a Sirius A and Sirius B in the Orion Belt constellation. By the way, that's the same configuration that the Great Pyramids in Egypt are lined up for, Orion's Belt, just so you know. Let's jump ahead a few years to the year 1865. General Robert E. Lee is named Commander-in-Chief of the Confederate Armies during the Civil War on this day in 1865. This is pretty interesting. In 1871, millions of birds fly over western San Francisco, darkening the sky. (1871). They must have freaked out back then. Let's go to 1874. Jesse James' gang robs a train at Gads Hill, Missouri. One of many, I think. I don't know how many, but it was on this day, 1874. And 2 years later, in 1876, the United States orders all Native Americans to move into reservations. All right, let's go to the year 1905, where the first automobile to exceed 100 miles per hour, which is 161 kilometers per hour, by A.G. McDonald at Daytona Beach, all the way back in 1905 when cars were just coming out. I wonder what car it was. All right, in 1906, we have the strongest instrumentally recorded earthquake in Colombia with a 8.6 on the Richter. I don't know if we've gotten anything bigger since then. That'd be interesting to find out. Next, let's go to 1915. On this day was the first German poison gas attack against the Russians. 1915. And still during the Second World War in 1916. On this day, the Dutch Girl Guides formed. The Dutch Girl Guides. Interesting. Let's go to some sports. 1923, Montreal Canadiens beat the Hamilton Tigers 5-4 at the Mount Royal Arena in Montreal, the very first penalty-free game played in NHL history. That's back in 1923, folks. In 1928, Scotch tape is first marketed by the 3M company. Boy, that goes back almost 100 years now. In 1930, on this day, the first United States glider flight from a dirigible was in Lakehurst, New Jersey. A dirigible is like a Zeppelin, Goodyear blimp. First glider from the Zeppelin. All right, let's go to 1933. Adolf Hitler promises parliamentary democracy. This is right after becoming the chancellor in 1933, and then taking the title of Führer in 1934. We all know what happened after that. Let's jump to the year 1936. On January 31st, the Green Hornet radio show is first heard on radio station WXYZ Radio in Detroit. Well, I didn't know it went that far back. The Green Hornet. I used to listen to those old radio programs, if you will. There were mysteries. There was comedies. There was Amos and Andy. All those old radio shows. I used to listen to them late at night there. It's a lot of fun. So the Green Hornet, 1936. And then on this day in 1944, Operation Overlord, which is also called D-Day, was postponed until June. They wanted to go in May, but they feared that they couldn't gather up enough ships. So they waited until June. 1948, on this day, magnetic tape recorder is developed by Wireway. Magnetic tape recorder. And in 1950, on this day, United States President Harry Truman publicly announces support for the development of a hydrogen bomb. In 1953, on January 31st, hurricane-like winds flood the Netherlands, drowning 1,835 people. As you know, most of the Netherlands are underwater or at the same level as the ocean. (1961) Ham, the chimpanzee, is the first primate in space. He went up 158 miles into orbit aboard Mercury/Redstone 2. So I had to ask what happened to Ham the chimpanzee after his travel in space. Well, he died 22 years after his historic flight into space. Pretty cool, he was named Ham. On January 18th, 1983. So at the estimated age of 26. Ham's flight is remarkable for many reasons. Ham not only survived the flight, but performed his tasks correctly, despite the rigors of spaceflight and the fear he must have experienced. Wow. I think the Russians tried launching a dog. Didn't go well. Not sure who, but I think it was the Russians. All right, so let's go to 1961 now. The United States Air Force launches SAMOS spy satellite to replace the U-2 flights that they were doing. So there's the age of satellites, of spy satellites, starting in 1961. All right, 1970. the psychedelic years. Grateful Dead members and entourage busted down on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, Louisiana, on LSD charges. Oops. And 1 year later, 1971, on January 31st, My Sweet Lord by George Harrison hits #1 on the UK pop charts. And on this day, January 31st, 1976, we have the third American Music Awards were held, and Olivia Newton-John and John Denver win. 1981, The Tide is High by Blondie hits #1. And in 1983, in an effort to reduce driving deaths, a new law in the UK requires drivers and front seat passengers to wear seatbelts. Ontario's seatbelt law first came into effect in 1976. So it took the UK 7 years later to adopt this new law. And on January 31st, 1990, the first McDonald's in the Soviet Union opens in Moscow. I wonder what they call a Big Mac in Moscow. Okay. Let's go to 1995. President Bill Clinton authorizes a $20 billion loan to Mexico to stabilize its economy. And in 1999, Seth MacFarlane's Family Guy first airs on Fox TV. Ever notice apparently some episodes on The Simpsons foretell the future and it ends up happening? They don't have a show foretelling the future, but the story that they have on The Simpsons actually come to fruition later. Pretty weird. Anyways, next, we're almost near the end here. Let's go to 2019. The colonization of the Americas in the late 1500s killed so many people it cooled the planet and led to a little ice age. That's the Europeans killing everyone in the Americas, according to a scientific report published in Quaternary Science Reviews. And on this day in 2019, the United States Border Agency seizes its biggest ever fentanyl bust, nearly 254 pounds, hidden in a tractor trailer in Nogales, Arizona. If I'm not mistaken, on the news today or yesterday, they did another huge bust. I'm not sure where. Does anybody know? All right. Okay, so we'll end with 2021. 3 years ago on this day, widespread protests in Russia against the detention of opposition leader Alexei Navalny and the government, with 5,000 people arrested. Now, Alexei Navalny was in opposition of Putin, obviously, and I think he wanted to replace him, run for president. Anyways, he was disappeared over Christmas and later found to be in a Siberian gulag, I guess, Siberian prison in isolation in the hole. And apparently they moved him again to another prison where he's in solitary confinement. So anyways, that wraps up on this day in history. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did researching it and telling it back to you fine folks. Are there any questions before I start going down the list? Do we have any questions, comments, announcements, or check-ins for this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3CJZ.
V3KKP.
Yes, Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah, 143.085. What's that?
That is EMS for Hamilton. And sometimes I catch a police officer on there, on some of the other ones as well. Just by the codes that they use, it's like, well, hold on, that's not an EMS code, especially when you're trying to run a license plate. Yep, it's a good strong signal.
Okay, and do you get a birdie on there? Does it go every once in a while?
Yes, I don't have any codes for it. So it does come across with hash noise every now and again.
Okay, and they're not on a split frequency, eh? Because I listened to it for a bit there after I seen it on the YouTube, but it seemed like I was only getting one side.
That's because some of them transmit on other frequencies. I have like at least half a dozen, maybe 7 other frequencies. Another popular one is 141,400.
Okay, very good. I'll put that in as well. Okay, thanks, Chuck. I won't hold you.
Yeah, no problem. That's not holding me up. Those 2 stations are the strongest to be picked up on a handheld here in Hamilton. So they do have a lot of calls for the Hamilton area. So that's why I listen to those. All right, very good. Any other questions, comments, announcements, or check-ins? Please come now. All right, nice and quiet. Well, let's go to the top of the list and see if BMO is still with us. VE3, Bravo Mike Oscar. How about Rick, Downtown Rick, VA3, AXJ?
Yeah, we're hanging in here, Chucky. But I think this is my 7-3 round. Eyes are closing. Trying to get up early. Oh boy. Anyhow, good net. Enjoyed it. And I'm sure we'll talk again. VA3, AXJ. We're going to be, I'll be QRT the next 10 minutes. So thanks for doing it. And, God bless and have a good day tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.
All right, Rick. Well, I'm glad I was able to finish up the net a little earlier than normal. Well, not the net, but the on this day. And so still got you in there. So very good then. Take care, my friend. Good luck tomorrow. And we'll talk to you again soon. So we'll clear with VA3AXJ. And our next customer is, let's see if PDL is there. VE3 Papa Delta Lima. Paul, you there? All right, let's try Victor Alpha 3 Bravo Tango. Uh-oh, maybe I'm putting people to sleep. Let's try Mac, VA3 IMW.
Well, I wouldn't want to let you down, Chuck. You should not be surprised that Paul didn't come back, because he's usually good for a couple of witty cracks, and then somehow he disappears. I guess maybe he needs his dogs to key up the mic for him. Anyways, that's always going to be a good joke. On this day, excellent job. Great content. A little segue on Friday, we get to enjoy, let's just say we get to enjoy spending time with Andy McDowell like we do every year over and over again. Looking forward to Groundhog Day. Not just because we can have the little varmints been held up to the sunlight and see if they see their shadow and predict maybe an early spring. What's an early spring when you haven't had winter? But
exactly.
No, I still enjoy watching Andy McDowell and Bill Murray in that movie over and over again. And you know what? Maybe I'll watch it again on Saturday. Other than that, Chuck, keep up the good work, and certainly appreciate all you do. Not sure if you're going to lock this down as a 73 round, but we might as well make it our 73. Got to get back to Guelph tomorrow and do the things that I do. it's certainly nice being appreciated up there. Anyways, I'll turn it back to you. Thanks again, VA3IMW. I'll be monitoring for a bit.
Okay, Mac. Before you go, do you work remotely? Do you work at home still?
I have not done an out of office day in quite some time. We're doing so much prototype activity right now, and I'm always kind of challenged with people coming up to me for information on a regular basis. So I try not to be out of office. Try to make myself immediately available to everybody that needs my wit and expertise, not necessarily in that order.
Or your wit and your expertise. Very good. Okay, yeah, I remember when you used to do that, and now you're not. So I was right. Okay, Mac. Well, I don't know. This might be the 7-3. We'll see. It's we can always close the net down early if we don't have any activity. But nonetheless, thanks for joining us and listening along. And so we'll clear with VA3IMW. And next we have, we tried Al. Let's try Al again. VA3 Bravo Tango. All right. Well, let's throw it to Kevin for 7-3 round. VE3 KKP.
Yeah, another great net, Chuck. 7-3 is to you and all on net frequency, whatever. And we'll do it all again next Wednesday for sure. I might be hanging around. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. Very good then. Well, I do appreciate you sticking around for as long as you did, and for your check-in, Kevin. Thank you, and we'll talk to you again soon, no doubt. Well, let's see if Steve is still up. Victor Alpha 3, November Foxtrot Golf. Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha. Wade, are you around?
VA3CJZ, VA3NCA. Yeah, I am here, Chuck, listening along, and glad I could make at least the second half of the AREG here. Mac mentioned that we're coming up on Groundhog Day. Something else that's of interest, I think, anyways, that we're coming up on is this is a leap year, and so we have the only time in the last 4 years, anyways, that we'll see a February 29th. So I'm thinking of potentially maybe doing an activation on that day just to see, get a rare date in the log, I suppose. I don't know. Seems geeky, but anyways, just thought I'd mention that. Yeah, we're upcoming on a leap year day in February. So as well as Family Day, February's a busy month. It sounds like, if not short, it's making up for it for all of its special days. Anyways, with that, thanks for running it, and I am going to hang around and listen to the rest, or whatever comes of the after chat, if such a thing happens. But for now, I'll give my 73s, and thanks for everybody for you running it and all on that. VA3NCA, back to you.
All right, very good, Wade. Well, thank you for your check-in and for your check-in on YouTube as well. And I'd like to thank Wayne B, VA3FMB, and Chris in Barbados, VE3RWJ, for checking in with us on YouTube. Let's see, the next person would be Gary, VE3 Juliet Golf Kilo. Gary, you still around? Okay, let's see if Chris, VA3WPG, is there with his other radio in line.
I am still kicking around here, VA3WPG. Something else I should have mentioned earlier. I had so much crap going on right now, so many different things. I can't even remember what I did 20 minutes ago. But earlier today, made a 6-meter dipole out of one of those BNC connectors to speaker terminal type connectors. Got the SWR flat, but didn't hear anything on 6 meters. It is a pretty slow band, nothing even on the FT8 frequency, but we'll pick up something eventually. But yeah, just talking about new stuff. Yeah, new 6-meter dipole, home built speaker wire.
Oh, very good, very good. Well, you may have more luck on the weekend. We are there are many contests going on this weekend, and of course, people going out doing POTA. And so I wish you good luck with that. Thanks for sharing, and thanks for your check-in, Chris. You sound great on that radio. The audio is a tad better on this one than the other one, but they both work nonetheless. So thanks again. Anything else, Chris?
No, that will be it. Thanks for letting me know about the contest. I will keep an eye on that for 6 meters. And other than that, nothing else much for me. So I'll throw it back. I guess this is 7-3 round. So 73 to everybody. Have a good night, great week, and we'll catch you around. VA3 WPG. Back to the net.
Okay, Chris, thank you. Let's see if the other Chris is still around. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Whiskey.
Yeah, I'm still here, Chuck. Hopefully I can hold the frequency this time. You're on this day, and the things you shared with us gave me enough time to throw the HT on charge for a few minutes and get enough power that I could join the 73 round. Do that help?
Ah, yes, very good, very good. So that was the issue, eh? Low battery. Yeah, I hate when that happens. You got to get a spare.
Yeah, QSL. Well, I bought when I really bought the rig, I bought it from a flea market, and the battery on it was shot. I think it was the original battery that come with the unit. So I replaced it. I actually had my kids give me a birthday present of a new battery for the HT. So it's working well. But because it's a new battery, I like to let it drain right down before I charge it. So that's what was going on earlier. But I understood that you copied my response. The guy looking for kits. Check with your local clubs. There's usually a guy or a couple of guys there that are into building kits. So anyhow, this is going to be 73 rounds, so I'll say 72 to you, Chuck, and everyone else on frequency. Thanks again to you, Chuck, for doing the net and for all your work with research and everything. It makes a great way to spend the Wednesday evening as be part of the AREG group. So 73 to you, Chuck, and I'll be hanging around for a little bit, but if I don't talk to you again, have yourself a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday.
Okay, very good, Chris. And you bring up a good point. Whenever you have a new battery or a new radio, obviously you'll get a new battery with your radio. Your HTs, you should drain the battery right down, fully charge it, and drain it right down. And then I think it's only twice, 2 or 3 times, they say, before the battery reaches its optimal performance. So those of you who just wait, till the battery's half discharged and then put it on the charger, it's advisable to let it drain right down. I wait for it to actually say low voltage, and then you turn it off and charge it, and it makes your battery, the performance work the way it's supposed to. So there you go, a little bit of tidbit information there. Thanks, Chris. We've got one more, Chris. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Kilo Zulu. Okay, let's go to my neighbor, Victor Alpha 3, November Echo.
Yeah, still here, Chuck, listening along, and going to give it a 73 there. Doing my listening to CW there, trying to learn the continuous wave there. Listening for the MKs, the R's, and the S's right now. I got sick of listening to the K and the M's. I think I got them down packed. But you learn a couple of letters a day, and hopefully in a month or so I'll feel safe enough to go out and send and receive. Anyhow, nice net there, Chuck. Always interesting for sure. All right, I'm going to say my 7-3s there. Everyone have a good night there and take her easy. VA3 any.
All right, very good, Kevin. Well, good luck with that. That is one of my it's not a New Year's resolution. It's more of a goal. I want to start that up as well there, CW, at some point this year. So wish you all the best. And maybe if I need some pointers, I'll give you a shout. So thanks again, Kevin, for sticking around and for your check-in. Have a good rest of the evening. And so we'll clear with Kevin. And Larry is the last person on my list. Victor Echo 3, Lima Bravo, India.
Yep, thanks, Chuck. Thanks for doing it. Been listening along here. And I guess it's being official now. April the 8th, pardon me, is where we're where we are going to have, not supposed to be, we're going to have that solar eclipse. And they actually have moved the schools now, so it'll be a PE day, so the kids will be at home.
Right. I remember someone mentioning that before. I don't know if it was you, but the schools will have a PEA day. So, yeah, April 8th. I thought originally it was April 28th, but I was mistaken. And that's my daughter's birthday, or our daughter's birthday. And I was wrong. It's on the 8th. And of course, this Friday is Groundhog Day. I personally don't like the movie. After watching it once, it was enough for me. But you never know. Maybe on Groundhog Day, it's something you could watch. But anyways. Okay, Larry, well, thank you for that. Do appreciate your check-in, sir, and sticking around. And so that clears my list. Let's see if there are any last-minute check-ins for this evening's Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3 CJZ. All right. Well, I don't hear anything. And so it is a little early, but nonetheless, had a great time. It's 9:46 p.m. The temperature outside on my front porch is 2.6 degrees. And so the weather has been fabulous. Like somebody mentioned earlier, I think it was Mac, something about spring, and we haven't really had a winter. But it's a fluke. I don't expect this is going to happen on a regular basis. I really don't. But nonetheless, here we are. And so that brings us to the end of our net. This is week, what was it? 1,585. So 1585 weeks. Ask your Amazon assistant or Google to calculate 1,585 weeks. And that's how many times or how many years AREG has been on the air every week. And with that, if there's no other questions or comments or check-ins, we'll close the net and say 7-3 to all. And we'll see you next week at the same bat time, same bat channel. 7-3 all. This is VA3 CJZ. Talk to you again soon, and I now return the frequency back to amateur use.
Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu, Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Whiskey.
Yes, sir. Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Whiskey. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, Chuck, just as you're signing off frequency here, the other Chris was mentioning about CW, and you were as well. I've been studying it as well, trying to pick it up, and I think it was Morse Code Ninja was the website. And the guy on there, John something, he's part of the Long Island CW Club. He has a YouTube channel, and on his channel he has a whole bunch of videos for learning CW. What they'll do is they'll play the CW at 4 different speeds, 18, 16, 14, and 12 words per minute. They do characters, they do the Q codes, and they do a whole bunch of different stuff. But it's really, really good. It's on his YouTube channel, and I think it's It might be. I know it's associated with the Long Island CW, and it's word carousels that are really good for learning the CW.
Oh, okay. Well, very good then. I actually put that into my Google there as you were talking, and so I'll look into that after the net. Well, thanks for that information there, Chris. Much appreciated, sir.
Yeah, my privilege, Chuck. I hope Chris might still be on frequency. And yeah, if you look at his stuff, what I found really helpful so far is the word carousels. You can get everything from 3 letters up to about 8 different letters. What they'll do is they'll do the word at the 4 different speeds. Then they'll tell you vocally in English what the letter is, and then they'll repeat it again at 18 words per minute. So you get it 4 different times. You get a confirmation of what the letter is, and then you get it again at 18 words per minute.
Yeah, repetition is what it's all about. Okay, Chris. Well, thank you very much again for that, and we will look into it and find something that I'm comfortable with to start with. So thanks again.
Yeah, QSL 73 Chuck. Thanks very much for doing the net again this week. And all being well, I look forward to checking in and following along next week. DA3CJZ, DA3CJW,
Okay, very good then. So long, everyone, and happy hunting. A lot of contesting this weekend and POTA, so good luck with that. Hopefully, the solar conditions will prevail, and we'll have some really strong propagation. And with that, I'll say 7-3. This is VA3 CJZ. I'll have to take a break, but I will return. So long for now.